Support WrestleTalk!
Enable notifications. The Miz goes toe-to-toe with Roman Reigns. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel compete in tag team action. And The Miz opens Monday Night Raw. The Miztourage sure are an unstoppable force. Who can possibly defeat them? I'm Ollie Davis and this is the 25th of September 2017 edition of Monday Night Raw in about 4 minutes. Finally, WWE have realised a way to get Roman Reigns over as the company's top star. No, not turning heel or reunite the Shield, although that was heavily teased here. All he needs to do is say he likes a beer. Steve Austin liked beer and people love him, and Miz doesn't like beer on his classy interview segment. Boo Miz, yay beer, and thus, yay Roman Reigns. Sadly though, Roman was yet again outclassed on promos, with Miz receiving the hot tag from the freshly departed John Cena. Reigns lets his actions do the talking instead, and a match between the two was made later on in the night. With Jeff Hardy out injured, Matt teamed with Jason Jordan to take on Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas. The Miztourage wrestled an impressively quick tag style, but not so impressive that I see them as a credible threat to a reunited Shield, especially because they then lost to Jordan and Hardy here. Elias' Titus Worldwide feud continued, beating Apollo Crews for the second night in a row. It's time for Curt Hawkins to finally end his 118 match losing streak. So come on out, random challenger, to see if you can Braun! I immediately regret all my life choices. Hawkins ran away as fast as he could. Problem is, Strowman can run faster and can then put you through a table and then the video screen on the stage. Dean Ambrose answered Strowman's call out for more competition, where Ambrose took the loss with Strowman needing a credible win after his Brock Lesnar main event dud. This was a decent big man, little man story. What wasn't decent though was a painfully scripted backstage segment between Ambrose and Seth Rollins afterwards. Alexa Bliss and Mickie James fared far better in front of the live crowd. In a promo segment so good, it somehow made Mickie relevant for the first time since the Superstar Shakeup. This appears to be the next Raw Women's title feud. Seth Rollins took on Sheamus again. Reigns beat Miz in a decent match, so the Miztourage attacked him with steel chairs in a lengthy beatdown afterwards. A beatdown so lengthy, it gave viewers enough time to ask, why aren't Rollins and Ambrose coming down to help? And in the most obvious foreshadowing of the night, Miz, Dallas and Axel did the Shield fist bump over Roman's unconscious body. So there we have it. The Shield's big comeback match is going to be against the Miztourage. Not a broken Hardy's faction, a reunited Wyatt family, called up Sanity, or invading Bullet Club. The Miz, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. It feels a lot like another big team up against an insignificant threat feud when The Rock and John Cena finally teamed together to take on the devastating force of R-Truth and The Miz. Roman will face Miz next week for the Intercontinental title. In Raw's second worst piece of scripting, Finn Balor robotically said now he's done with Bray Wyatt, I wish, he'll be going after the Universal title he never lost. Balor beat Goldust over face paint supplies or something later on, and we got a blah interruption suggesting Finn's not quite as done with Bray as he thinks, or we hoped. In Raw's actual worst piece of scripting, Bayley and Sasha Banks said words backstage. Words with either no emotion or the wrong emotion. They teamed together shortly afterwards, beating Nia Jax and Emma by pinning the latter, obviously. Enzo Amore is finally a full-on heel, burying the rest of the Cruiserweight division as they came out to confront him for his title celebration. Cedric Alexander has no charisma, Grand Metalik is fat. Enzo, in contrast, is money. He's ratings. He's a superstar. Yes, it made the division look terrible. And yes, the crowd was sometimes caught popping for Amore's lines. But this was actually incredibly watchable. Enzo acted his role perfectly. Neville suddenly became a badass babyface. And this was the most into the Cruiserweights I've been in months. Hopefully the long-term consequences of having a champion who can't wrestle aren't too damaging. So that was this week's Raw in about 4 minutes. Here's the usual ratings recap from top to bottom in our core average poor and bore. I'll reveal my rating very shortly, but first, vote in the poll above my head to give yours. I'll announce the results in tomorrow's WrestleTalk news. I never thought I'd be so indifferent to a Shield reunion storyline. It's also transparent, the company's latest way to get Roman Reigns cheered. And using the Miztourage as their opponents is amongst the laziest options they could have gone with. Other than the Braun and Enzo segments, there was very little on this show to enjoy. This week's Raw is poor. Is John Cena leaving WWE? And was No Mercy's main event the most disappointing of 2017? Click the videos to the left to find out, press subscribe, and support WrestleTalk on Patreon. I've been Ollie Davis, and that was wrestling.